A war of words over potential U.S. actions in the South China Sea is heating up. China is urging the U.S. not to conduct naval patrols within the territorial waters of islands over which Beijing claims sovereignty. The words come as the U.S. is thought to be weighing such patrols, inserting itself physically for the first time into territorial disputes in the South China Sea. In addition, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry travels to Beijing this weekend for high-level talks on regional stability. CCTV's Nathan King is in our Washington newsroom with more.
Yeah, I think, Elaine, if the change in policy is in the offing, then John Kerry's trip to China is going to have added importance.
U.S. aircraft conduct patrols in the Pacific. That is nothing new, but reports circulating Washington suggest the U.S. is now considering patrolling within 12 nautical miles of reefs and islands claimed by China in the South China Sea. That 12-mile limit is enshrined in international law as territorial waters. So for the U.S. to do so would send an unequivocal message to Beijing that Washington does not recognize China's claims. China is urging the U.S. not to do it.
We are extremely concerned about the comments made by the United States, and we believe it's necessary they make a clarification on this. China has been insisting on the freedom of navigation in the South China Sea, but freedom of navigation certainly does not mean that foreign military ships and aircraft can enter another country's territorial waters or airspace at will. We demand the relevant side talks and acts cautiously and does not take any actions that are risky or provocative to maintain regional peace and stability.
The U.S. has long maintained that it is neutral when it comes to territorial disputes in the South China Sea. China is one claimant. Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei are among other claimants. But as part of Washington's rebalance to Asia, the U.S. has reinvigorated a security alliance with the Philippines and is helping it build a navy. It is also rotating more ships to Singapore and Marines and other assets to Australia, as well as inking new defense guidelines with ally Japan, which could see joint patrols of the South China Sea. Countries have become more aggressive in pushing their claims in the region. There has been land reclamation on some of the disputed territory by all major players, including the Philippines, Vietnam, China and the region of Taiwan. And while the U.S. says it remains neutral, it has treaty ties with some of China's adversaries in these disputes.
Tensions have increased in the last several years. Not only could a serious incident provoke a dangerous escalatory cycle, but the region's efforts to develop a stable, rules-based order are also challenged by coercive behavior. This gives the United States a vested interest in ensuring that disputes are managed peacefully.
Any patrols by the U.S. inside territorial waters claimed by China would be a significant change in policy. But Washington has done something like this before. When China established an air defense identification zone across East China Sea in November 2013, the U.S. immediately flew strategic bombers over the area unannounced, signaling it did not agree with China's actions. Elaine?
All right, Nathan King in our Washington newsroom.